Welcome back, everyone. So I just put up a video how I couldn't get this XT running because it sounds like maybe the hard drive had failed or something catastrophic went wrong with either the controller or maybe the drive. So a viewer, Dan P., made a suggestion. He said that slot 8 on the XT, which is where the card was installed, is called the funny slot, and it doesn't really function like most normal slots. I've been out of the XT game for a long time, and I didn't really know that. And come to think of it, I may have moved it when I had taken the cards out to see what was in it. I may have inadvertently put it into slot 8 rather than slot 7. He said, give it a try. So let's do that. I just moved the controller to slot 7, which is apparently the more serious slot, whereas slot 8 is the funny slot, as he so eloquently put it. Now, Dan was the gentleman who actually had a complete drive subsystem for this that he was trying to sell me, and I still may buy it if this works, because I would like to have a spare drive and controller, because, I mean, let's be honest, 40 years old, huh? Okay, so let's give it a try. So let's turn it on. We won't put a disk in the drive. I'll just have that there just in case I need it. So let's see if we can wake the dead. The problem that I had in my last video was I couldn't get debug to run. It just wouldn't run. Okay, just did a seek test, as it will do. So usually when you hear that, that means A, like Fonzie. That means that the drive and the controller are communicating. Actually, that doesn't necessarily ring true. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of something else. All right. So will this run? Will this thing boot up after so many years? So we got a working keyboard now. That in itself was an achievement because... All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. I hear sounds. Ooh. What we got? Okay, yep. Drive A, seek, test. Oh. What? It works? No way. And look at this. It's got the AST clock software already on it. Look at that. Drive C, DIR. What's on this drive? Oh, it's got PFS Write, menu, tools, IBM Help, IBM Run, System Manager, Mirror, main menu. Wow. 28 megabytes free. BW Vid. Let's see. What is that? BWVID. I don't know what that is. Oh, black and white video. Okay. So it's got the original card in here now. We're going to put the Hercules back in. But I want to try... I'm going to... You know what? When I have more time later today, I'm going to do some more testing. I want to put some games on it and see for real what happens. I think I saw PFS on there. So the PFS is was a popular word processing application from the 80s. I think it's just PFS. No. So this is pretty much as it was left. PW. A pretty quiet drive. PFS, create, edit, professional write, F2, oops, get file. Let's see if there's any documents on here. There's a bunch of stuff in here. Dealer application record. Look at the dates on these. Hunt BVR. Dealer application. Let's pick one at random. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I found a resume. So this thing's from Ohio. I won't read the... All right, here we go. Let me give you some work experience. Horseplay Farm. Do It Control Systems Group. Shreveport, Ohio. Final Assembly Environmental Control Unit. Office clerical duties. And it's possible that this could be... No, I think this is real. All these people are dead by now. Available upon request. So that, I found a resume from the 80s. Let's see, let's try another one. Excuse me. All right, so I figured out who owned this machine. It was a company that produces or produced wheelchair control systems. Think Stephen Hawking, that kind of stuff. So they would design solutions to allow a disabled person to utilize a power chair. They were based in Ohio, and this was one of their machines. And it is intact, as if they left it and never came back. Which is very interesting, because you don't always find systems like this that are in running condition. It needed nothing. It literally, all the work I did was for nothing. I mean, replacing capacitors was my end game anyway, so I figured let's get a jump start on that, but it wasn't necessary. Every capacitor that I pulled from the controller was still good, and the ones I pulled from the hard drive were also still good, well within spec. So totally unnecessary. I was doing it as just a routine troubleshooting step, which is what I do now when I find issues with electronics. Is I just go straight to capacitors. Let's get those out of the way first, and then we'll move forward. And 90% of the time, it fixes whatever's going wrong. In this case, it was in the wrong slot. How was I supposed to know that? I mean, honestly, I wasn't thinking along those lines. But thank you to Dan P. I don't know what you go by on YouTube, but thank you, Dan, for your advice. It worked right out of the gate, fired right up, and I couldn't be happier. So I think what I'm going to do is preserve the drive. I don't think I'm going to delete anything off of it. I'm going to leave it alone because it's irreplaceable history at this point. But we do need to get that fan addressed. I am probably going to recap the power supply just to get it done. I think it should be done, and at the same time we'll do the fan. But I want to preserve this machine as much as I possibly can. So let's go ahead and get out of this software. Let's see. But yeah, all the documents I'm finding are from a power chair company. And this might have been like a secretary's machine. I don't think it was in the production line. It's in too good of condition. So, yeah, that's kind of probably not. How do I exit? F2, delete, working macros. Oops. Just hit escape. PFS write used to be... That was like, PFS was one of the also ran word processors. There were a lot of word processors out there. WordStar, WordPerfect, just to name the two. Microsoft Word was kind of a small player, but PFS they had a whole suite of applications. Nowadays, I believe everyone's using Google Docs. Most people that I know are, anyway. What else is on this drive? Got to take this keyboard apart. We're going to do a complete clean on that. Make it look new again. Make it look special. Menu. All right, let's open up menu. I bet you I know what that is. I have a couple of copies of that, and who doesn't, right? No, too few parameters. Okay, main menu. Novell menu systems. Disk management, power down, word processing. Disk management. PC tools. Okay, I see what they got going on there. PC tools. I'd like to run a drive scan on this thing. Oh, wait, that's just showing me. Okay, yeah, I got it. I think there's a scan disk on this. Some versions of PC tools, you can actually run like a scan disk. Delete, word, print list, escape, F3, other menu. No. You can park the drive with it, initialize, map. Drive C. I'm going to give the drive a good little exercise. Okay. Looking for any mapped bad clusters, and there aren't any that I can see. So it would be beneficial to 91% free space. Yeah. It would be beneficial to run a scan disk type utility on this, but it doesn't seem to be available to me right now. So it's only got basically two things on it: word processing and power down. So power down is going to, I believe, park the drive heads. See, that was a thing that mattered back in the day. Not anymore. So what it would do is it would force the head stack over to the landings, or the, I believe they call it the landing zone. But it would be a section of the drive just for powering the unit down and up. So that way the heads wouldn't be out in midfield somewhere, and as the drive gets powered down, the heads contact the surface when it finally stops spinning, and it can cause all kinds of damage. So you had, and these drives were not auto parking, so that was a thing. All right, I put the Hercules card back in. Let's just confirm it runs. I'm gonna get more of the same style of screws. See what I can get, but I want to put the blanks, put those back in place. I'm going to clean the board. I am going to do the whole complete system tear down. We'll clean everything off. Probably start going through the capacitors on other components. The drive is good. We're all set there. Controller is good. The monitor, the monitor is running really well. Once you get the contrast and brightness adjusted, but it does produce a raster if you increase the brightness. And I think they all do. But yeah, I think they all do that if they're out of range. But it produces a good, strong image. It doesn't have any real distortion that I can see. Let's see what we got. So we have PC tools, we have PFS, right? I see a lot of IBM stuff here. I don't know why. It actually does have a mouse driver. So there's that. Alright. Okay. Let's put a game in here. Let's put a game in this thing. Let's see what you can do. Now, this game is specifically compatible. Oh, I thought there was a 5 1/4 inch disc in here. Damn it. You know what? The Apple version has the 5 1/4 inch disc. Alright, well, that's not going to happen. Alright, I got a couple of titles here we can play with. Classic Concentration. Let's try that. I think it's Classic 2 is the command. My allergies are kicking in bad. All right, so not the greatest picture, but you get the idea. This is the worst monitor ever released for any PC, so, I mean, you know, we're running it on a Hercules card, so God only knows what that might do. I would like, you know, I should put the original card back in just to see how this game works. Or doesn't. One day. That's my grandmother. She passed away 10 years ago. That's my cousin. That's my uncle. And that's me. So it works with this graphics card. So let's do this. I want to desperately try this on the text only card. Just for my own benefit. Just for my own benefit. But look at that. That's pretty nasty. Yeah, that's almost unusable. All right. Let's put the graphics, the old card back in. So once and for all, we're going to nail this down, put this issue to bed. Can you play Classic Concentration on a text-only graphics card? And if you can, how will it look? Well, we're going to find out. Okay, we're booting. Okay. So I don't have a clock battery in there. I took it out, by the way. Alright, drive A. DIR. Oh yeah, I know. Classic 2. Such a waste of a perfectly good keyboard, you know? Will it run? I don't think it will. I think it'll come up with a blank screen. What do I know? I didn't even know what slot to put the drive controller into. Apparently it matters. Alright. Little do I know. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Fuck around and find out. So we found out. No display. Sound works. Stuff happening in the background. I bet I could, yes, I'm a returning champion. Yes. Uh-huh. All right. Well, I was right. I was right about that one. So what we're going to do is I have things I got to do today. And believe me, playing with XTs is not one of them. I do not want to work for this company. Holy shit. Look at this. Employees are compensated on the basis of value to the company. Elements constituting value are a function of the job being performed, but include quantity of work, quality of work, ideas for reducing labor, etc. Company does not pay employees to do nothing, watch other people work, eat, drink, smoke, play, operate food and beverage concessions, talk about unrelated topics, listen to others talk about unrelated topics, make personal phone calls, receive personal phone calls, work on personal projects, etc. Unless the activity can be combined with the usual high productivity. Some benefits of employment at Do It are not defined, yet are of substantial value. These include stimulating and satisfying work, a pleasant working environment, flexible hours, technical assistance with hobby and educational projects. But you will not be paid for those, FYI. Personal use of facility, tools, and land for hobby. Oh, alright, okay, that's not so bad. Just do your job and shut the fuck up. That's pretty much it. They could just say that, and that would be enough. This thing almost sounds like an old Chevy that you pulled out of a barn and just started it up for the first time in 40 years. It just sounds so bad. But I assure you, all the bad noises are the fan and the fan alone, and it's doing fine. So what have we got here? So we've got a bog standard XT with a Hercules graphics card, and that really is its biggest shortfall. Hercules is better than the text-only card that it came with, but really, to open it up, you really need CGA. And I don't know if I'm going to start looking for an IBM CGA monitor and card. I've thought about it. I might do it. Unfortunately, I may have to buy a whole nother system just to get one. One of the nice things about the monochrome display is it's so much easier to take care of. No, really. And that's kind of why I was happy it had a monochrome display, because there's no convergence issues. They're pretty robust. There's not a lot to go wrong with these displays. It will last forever. Once I replace every capacitor inside it, it'll be good for another 40 years. Now, here's the thing. I would have to find a CGA card and a monitor that works, and that's not going to happen. But here, so yeah, my point. I'm sorry, I've recorded this video 100 times. The Hercules card will limit the amount of software you can run. For example, none of this stuff will run. None of these games will work, even though it meets all other requirements. But what's interesting is some games will specifically call out a Hercules card. I can't even run Oregon Trail on this. It's that bad. Now, was there a Hercules version of Oregon Trail? I don't know. Some games do have a Hercules-only version. I don't, It's just kind of a frustrating thing, because it is such a cool machine. It's complete, it's intact, it's mint, but it won't run anything. I did just install WordPerfect, as I stated earlier, and here it is. So all the productivity stuff, the Lotus 123s, the DBase software, WordPerfect, that'll run. That shouldn't be a problem. But if you want to get fancy with it, no, you're not going to go far. I think it's really, at this point, it's a novelty. It's not something I can ever really put to use for my intended purposes. I have enough PCs that can do way more, but I got it really as a novelty. It is basically PC 2.0. It is the second model that IBM ever released for DOS compatibility, and the XT is an icon in and of itself. It was the first PC to include a hard drive as standard equipment. That's kind of its claim to fame. It was the first one to include a hard drive as standard equipment. Now, we no longer have that 10 megabyte drive, but it has a nice 36 megabyte, I believe, RLL drive in it. But it was a good find, for sure. So what are my plans? I'm going to put this on my desk at work. It's going to go right where my compact portable is. I think it has a more striking appearance, and it makes a statement. It really does. But the compact portable is going to come back home, and this is going to take its place, I think, for the time being. I'm going to proceed with a complete, we're going to clean the keyboard. We're going to pull all the cards out. We're going to clean the motherboard, all the dust, get all the dust off. I'm not going to run out and do caps on it just yet. It doesn't really need them. It runs fine. It doesn't really show any signs of failure, so I'm not going to be too worried about it. But yeah, it'll play some games. Like, for example, Wheel of Fortune. I believe Share Data made all those games. Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, Classic Concentration, Family Feud. All the game show games will run. I think even Scrabble, I think, was made by the same company. So that isn't an issue. Those will all run fine. Attack of the Petsy Robots by DOS or 8-bit guy. That should run. That should run because it actually calls out Hercules specifically. So that's kind of neat. Yeah, she's a good runner. What else can I say? Do I have any buyer's remorse? Yes, I do, actually. I kind of wish I spent the extra money on the one that had the CGA graphics that was at the same show. There was a gentleman selling one that was a CGA. I think it was a gentleman. I think I saw the guy put it there. It was a CGA machine with the keyboard and the correct monitor, and it was on display running. But he wanted $700 for it, so that was kind of that was where I was like, yeah, no, I'm not paying $700 for that. So that all having been said, I think I'm going to just kind of pause the updates on this one, and we'll just put it away for now. I had my fun with it this week, and I've invested more money than I care to remember into this machine, but it's kind of where we're at. It actually has a monitor blanking software built into it. I don't know if that's a function of the card or if that's a function of a TRS program. TRS? No. Yeah, terminate, stay resident. TSR? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's like a built-in screensaver. Kind of neat. It's, if it is a TSR program, that's probably why this monitor has no burn-in. Because usually by now these things are burned in so bad you can't read them anymore. But anyway, on that note, I think we're going to call this the end of the video. So thank you for watching. Once again, thank you to you know who you are regarding the slot issue. And I wouldn't have figured it out without you. Honestly, I would not have figured this out. So I thank you for that. But yeah, a lot of my games don't run. They're not Hercules compatible. And just to reiterate, you can't just put a CGA monitor, a CGA graphics card in this and use that monitor. That's a no bueno. Can't do that. The monitor will be overdriven and it will burn out if it works at all. So that is an issue that you kind of have to think about. Striker doesn't work. Bowling doesn't work. And neither does Zaxxon, surprisingly. I thought Zaxxon, of all of the games I have, would run. Funnels and Buckets should work, but Oregon Trail does not. It's kind of a shame. Monopoly might, though. Let's try Monopoly. Let's see. I didn't even try this one. I don't think this game has a lot of graphics in it. That's why let's see. Let's see what we got. I believe Go is the command. Unless there's like a Monopoly CGA or something. Let's see what it does. Tommy's Monopoly. Play Monopoly. That's number 3. Oh. That's just a menu. Oh, right? Okay. Okay, yeah, that works. Let's see what's going to happen. Nope. Tough luck. Yeah, it's to be expected, though. Literally nothing works on this machine. So, now, there is a utility that you can install. It's a TSR utility. It goes into auto exec and all that. Anyway, what it does is it emulates it allows the graphics adapter to emulate a CGA card. I've heard of these when I was doing some homework on this issue. Is like, what is my best solution? So there's a utility. There's a couple of them, and they're basically CGA emulators. I'm not going to bother with those because I feel like we're just adding a layer of complexity that will just create problems. And I don't want to create problems, I want to solve them. But what really blows my mind is that my compact portable can run all of this stuff, and the IBM can't. Like, IBM could have, I don't know, I feel like they could have done a better job with this machine. I don't think I'm the only one who feels that. What I do know is that the graphics that it shipped with they were specifically designed for productivity purposes. Text on screen, and that is it. In some ways, that's better for the intended application. This machine wasn't supposed to go onto somebody's desk at home. It was supposed to be used in a corporate world, and that's exactly what it was used for. And that's pretty much all I got. So thank you for watching, and have a great day.